My name is Muhanguzi. I don't like the other name, for reasons unknown, but you can call me one day JR. Yeah? So before you get started, I want you guys to sing with me. Yeah? Are you ready? We shall not sing it today. We shall not sing it today. So, many years ago, I was arrested and detained. The details of why and how are not relevant at this point. Hey, they're not relevant, but just know it was a very minor little issue that became, it snowballed into something that I didn't expect. And it cost me 4 months of my life. But I remember walking into this good thing called a jail. And gates are opening and closing behind you, opening and closing behind you, opening and closing, like 4 gates before you actually get to the actual jail. But you imagine, mentally you're crippled. You get into this medical section and they're checking my blood pressure. And the doctor is like, do you have history of high blood pressure? And I'm like, what? Because I was in so much shock, and listen to how we just smile and say, don't worry, your body is just in so much shock. It took me about 3 days for my body to subside in a way. And I'm walking into this massive jail like you see in the movies. So many blocks, dead in the night. And you're putting us two people in this little small cubicles as if we were going into Noah's Ark. Two guys. Put me in a room with a Pakistani guy. Small little jail like this, double decker. I was at the top, this guy was at the bottom, a small little toilet there. No windows, silence, the type that can just press against your chest. They open at 6 a.m., lock at 6 p.m. I remember that those mornings whenever you hear those both jails opening, just mentally, that will cripple you. Speaking to my mom on the phone and telling her, Mom, this is the mix I mean. So much shock she's in. I was concerned for her health. She's walking up and down the prayer mountain, thinking that this boy has run mad. I don't even know how I got myself with that. It was an actual breakdown, a meltdown. But then, as weeks and months wore, to me, it actually it moved from a breakdown to a breakthrough. Because in these spaces where my liberties and comfort and certainties were taken away from me, and that moment of stillness is where I actually found myself, my purpose, my calling. It hit me that I've been in the prison all this time. Right? So, before this actual prison detention experience, I was actually in a prison. I was in a prison before I got into prison. Can you imagine? Being raised in a, loving family and, single mom, couple siblings, so much love. But yet, there was that prison that I didn't know I was in at the time that crippled me so much fear of the unknown, fear of, fear of failure, fear of venturing into an unknown and carving my own path because the path was set. You guys cannot relate. The high watermark of human achievement is being a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. Shout out to you guys. I hope the doctors and the lawyers here love what they do. And the reggae will never stop, please. You know what I mean? I'm in school, the backbench are wreaking havoc at the back, hiding behind jokes and rebellion. Yet deep inside there is this young guy that doesn't belong. I felt like there was more to life. And imagine, it took an actual prison for me to notice that there was this prison door that I had to just slam and walk out and find myself. This is what gave birth to Wonder JR. The Wonder that refused to imprison himself by what he did, but who he was, which was my calling. And as a result of that, I started to move into different things. I moved from music to the artists, the podcasting, to the mental wellness, to youth empowerment projects, going into the slums and so on and so forth. As someone that was told, do one thing, be one thing. This is the path, right? As a result, I have done work that correlates with some of the professions in this building. In the health space, tourism, foreign policy, and all this kind of space that I thought were only limited to the intellectuals that were told when we were young. This is what gave birth to Arts for Hearts. Arts for Hearts, an organization that is a platform for storytellers, tech innovators, cultural architects. I can't say that. Second one, they like recently. I'm a cultural architect. Yeah, I mean, like, what do you do? I'm a cultural architect, right? You know what I mean? This part, come on, don't be shy, bro. All right. Just make sure you don't get me off the what I'm wanting. I figured out that most of us have the same story. Most of us have created these safe prisons because when I look back at how I was born, from my infancy, I was in this safe, comfortable prison that I didn't know I was in at the time. Our stories are not unique. It's not like we lack talent or we lack the truth. It's because of the systems we find ourselves in, our own families and so on, that have told us that we don't belong in these rooms. What we see on the TVs, in the books, behind the camera, further even cements that issue, that people like us don't belong, which is a prison, right? I know what it's like to be silenced. I know what it's like to see on your talent like it's something to be ashamed of. But guess what? I also know what it means to believe in myself. Even I can't stop myself. That's how much self-belief I have. Before the world believes in you, you must believe in yourself. Before the world gives you a platform, man, I have to show up like I really belong. Are you kidding me? I must show up like I belong. And that right there is that young storyteller who had to get in prison to understand that I was born to create. I was born to tell my story. And my voice was not a mistake, but a fleeting mission. And mission. That is your story, right? That's self-confidence, which by the way is not about confidence, just about confidence. It's not even arrogance. This is the first act of rebellion against a world that consistently tries to meet us. Consistently. Cyrus, what do I like to say? Where's he? What do I like to say? Don't be shy, come on.
The answer, the world around you is the world within you.
The answer to the world around you is the world within you. Don't ask what the world needs, because the world needs men and women who have come alive. I have come alive. And so, my question to you is it possible that you've somehow, created this illusion, these comfortable prisons that you've been around for so long because of the environment you find yourself in that have limited you so much? Deep in there, you know there's so much more out there than what meets the eye. But you've been in there, in that little corner, this corner here, like this. That's what it's front. Like here. Here. You know what I mean? That one is a bit at the front. Are you that person? This is before myself, Philip, was before the audience, before the numbers, before all these things that we see. I had to fundamentally know that I was the one, and the passport me illuminates as I walk it. The path only illuminates as you walk it. So, we are the answer we're waiting on. We are the story. Above all, we are the revolution. Let me see you guys do this. Come on now. Don't be shy. We are the what? We are the what? I thank you.